Boston Celtics will advance once again to the Eastern Conference Finals. Banner number 18 still very much in play.
Clap your hands, everybody, for Philadelphia 76ers. Stomp your feet.
Between the legs, sidestep, puts up another three. Bang! The Tatum tornado continues. He's got 41.
Philadelphia on the run. Stand up and
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Big thank you to Philadelphia for the phenomenal intro music. How about them? Love to see it.
I love the Sixers song. The Sixers song, I listen to the Sixers song every time they play the Sixers. I didn't listen to it game by game. Listen to it today as I went to go pick up my wings.
I mean, you got to wait until the Celtics take care of business, and that's what they did in Game 7. Oh man, what a day! And you know what, Sam? Celtics are headed to Miami, so I've got to dress the part. Sixers are going home. Celtics to Miami. I've got to. I mean, if Celtics are going to Miami,
well, now I
we
feel
got to.
like scumbag. I didn't have my.
You got perfectly great attire for yourself. I mean,
that's true. I do have.
Like,
I have my Beat Philadelphia shirt on.
We've got both things cooking. We've got the
Celtics blog is going to send Jack to the Kaseya Center.
Imagine. No, we've got both sides of the equation. We've got the fresh off Game 7, and we've got looking forward to the future. I mean, what a day for the Celtics. You can't really ask for much more from them. Absolute masterclass from Jayson Tatum. We'll get into that. Al Horford completely shutting down Joel Embiid. Another James Harden no-show for the 76ers. What was the final score? It was 112-88.
Yeah.
I think, what is that? 112 minus 88, 24-point win for the Celtics. They held the 76ers to sub 90 points for the third time in the series, which only happened twice in the regular season for the Sixers. I mean, it was just so clear the Celtics were the better team. You just needed them to come out and show it. And, oh man, thank God they did. Like, it's about time. You love to see it. You won't hear many complaints on this show today. So good one. It's gonna be a pleasant show, which is not something we've been able to say for a good portion of the rest of the series.
Yeah, people were really mad after Game 5 when I was like, they should have swept these guys. Here you go. On the pregame show, couple things. One, I did ask for it to be like Game 2. They delivered. Good on them. Thank you. Lowered my stress, made me spend less money maybe on insurance than I might have had to. Then Tatum, I did say I felt like you'd have a big game today on the pregame show.
You did.
That's correct.
You texted me too.
And
Receipts.
I do have to apologize. I did trash Tatum all week. He deserved it. But he showed it big time in the last 5 quarters. He was excellent. Didn't we say something about the shoes? I think we said we have to buy his shoes.
I think we said if he dropped 40 in Game 7, we'd buy his shoes.
No! Pull it up!
I've got to go look now. Oh my God. If Jayson Tatum drops 40 in Game 7, I will buy the shoes. Thoughts?
Okay. Yeah, I'll match.
Oh my gosh, we'll do a flashback.
Oh no,
here.
I have to buy his shoes. My mom's gonna be so mad. She's like, "You've been buying too many shoes."
Oh my gosh, we might have to buy Tatum shoes. You know what we'll do? We'll have maybe we should pick our own. I was gonna say we can do a live stream and have chat pick which shoes we buy, but if we want to buy the colorways we like, then we can do that. But
I only think there's 2.
Regardless, maybe we might have to buy the man's shoes. And you know what, Sam? he deserves it. He deserves it. 51 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 0. Let me repeat that. 0 turnovers. 17 of 28 from the field, 6 of 10 from behind the 3-point line. Just nothing short of domination for Jayson Tatum in Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers. They had absolutely no answer for him. Al Horford said after the game, talking about how remarkable it is that Tatum was able to do that. Jaylen Brown, when asked about Jayson Tatum, said, "Get out of that man's way and let him make space for other people." He was far and away the best player on the floor tonight. It was by the stats. Sam, are you familiar with game score?
I've heard about it. I know they use that to determine of the games throughout history who had technically the best game.
Yes. So game score calculation. The formula for game score is it's long, and I honestly don't really want to go through it all, but basically it combines points, assists, rebounds, efficiency, turnovers, personal fouls, offensive rebounds, steals, blocks, all that stuff, combines it into one formula, and it spits out a number with how impactful that game with. For some context, Donovan Mitchell, his 71-point game in the Cavaliers win earlier this season is the third best individual performance of all time. Michael Jordan has the best game score ever in a 1990 game with the Chicago Bulls. Damian Lillard's 71-point game is the fifth best of all time. Jayson Tatum just recorded the 13th best playoff performance in the history of basketball by game score.
Woo.
Do you know how ridiculous that is? The 13th best.
Ridiculous enough for us to buy shoes.
Evidently so. And it is the
Shit.
fourth best among active players. Would you like to guess the three players who have had better individual playoff performances? No.
Jimmy Butler.
Yes, he is one of them. And was number 13 as well, but Tatum displaced him. Jimmy Butler does have the seventh best of all time, though, and it was this season. So
I can't believe LeBron didn't have one.
Not LeBron. LeBron's best playoff game was a 2009 game, and it's 19th among playoff performers. Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell both have games better than LeBron James.
I would not have guessed either of those guys.
But no, that's not the people above Tatum. The people above Tatum, Damian Lillard and Kevin Durant. Damian Lillard, the best.
I wanted to guess. Is KD's the game 7 against Milwaukee?
Potentially 6/15 of 2021 would make sense. No, it was game 5, a win against Milwaukee, where he put up. Hold up, I can find it in 2 seconds. 49 points, 17 rebounds, 10 assists, triple-double, played all 48 minutes. That'll do it. But
I'm buying these shoes.
Are you doing it now?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Are you not happy about it?
I'm not happy about it. It's just like I just bought the Lillard shoes when they were, when he scored 71 points. Speaking of the game score, Adidas would be really cool, actually, if Nike made these $51. I just realized I have to buy a Nike product, which is even worse. They've ruined my jerseys.
Hey, do you know what I'll say? It's worth it because that Tatum performance was, oh boy. I mean, might have been, that was probably his best game he's ever played in his life, right? I think so. And you could argue, like, I mean, obviously he had that 60-point game and a big win against the Spurs, but that was a regular season game. He had the 46-point game in the playoffs against the Bucks last year, but we're talking game 7, season on the line, following a very rough stretch of play. Obviously, he played well at the end of game 6, picked it up, but up until that point, he was struggling mightily. He came out and from start to finish, just absolutely dominated the Philadelphia 76ers. No answer for him. He started aggressive, going to the hoop, which obviously you love to see. He extended out to the mid-range, took a couple shots from there. I know you texted me about it. I know that's what you love to see. And then by the end of the game, he had 4 threes in the third quarter alone. Absolutely cooking, was chucking him over Joel Embiid. Nothing could stop him, right? He was already in the zone. He got to the free throw line 8 attempts from the charity stripe in the first half alone. Just utter domination. There was nothing the Sixers could do to stop him. And when they double teamed him, he just kicked it to Jaylen Brown, open 3. He picked them apart. And the Celtics reaped the rewards of having one of the best players on the planet. Humbly, one of the best players in the world.
What a 5 quarters for Tatum. 67 points over the last 5 quarters of this series. Absolutely insane. My order has now been processed.
I'm going to do it right now.
Can we see?
Oh, baby. There we go.
Yep. Sam bought the shoes. Excellent. Fantastic. I mean, I'll use them. I'll get use out of them for sure. I like the colors. I bought the St. Louis ones, the blue and white. Very pretty. The Zoo ones are
very nice.
Even though he wore those today, low key, we should have had to buy the Zoo ones because that's what he wore today. Tatum was fantastic today. We bought the shoes. Well, I bought them. You're buying them.
I'm going to buy them. I will say though that I can buy the Zoo ones. I don't hate the Zoo ones. I really don't hate them. Really,
I like the white ones better. I think they look better.
I think the white ones are cool. I already have a pair of blue and white shoes though, so I might just buy the Zoo ones to have something different. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
But yeah, you mentioned it earlier. He ruled. He was using the mid-range, which we haven't really seen a lot in this playoff run. And I think it was a real difference maker for him. You mentioned it. I texted you about it. Embiid was really dominant underneath the basket throughout really the series on the defensive end, right? He was making a huge difference in this series here. He was dominating today. He was dominant
Even
in
in
the
this
first
game,
quarter.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
And then Tatum starts, pulling up. He's taking those difficult step back shots from the mid range instead of three. And I know
Yeah.
traditionally his percentage from the mid range isn't fantastic. I've seen people on Twitter share it, especially when we all start complaining about the threes. But that was a great way for him to find his stroke. In all seriousness, he got going from the mid range. He was making the tough shots. Then he pushed back and started taking the threes. You saw him make a huge three in the second quarter to kind of extend the lead. He continued to be a flamethrower in the third quarter, really helped blow the game open for the Celtics, which was huge. I enjoyed watching them coast to the end. It was great. And credit to Tatum. He did it all, got to the basket. He was finishing. His touch was there. He was making the sidestep threes after he found his footing by shooting the
Mhm.
mid-range. It allowed him to be more flexible, and Philly wasn't left with two choices. They were left with three of what he was going to do. It wasn't if he's not shooting the three, he's going to automatically go to the cup, because it was making it easier for them to defend him. And the Celtics as a team, really.
Yeah, it was great. Sorry, I got up to go check what size shoe I am for basketball sneakers. I had to make sure I was getting the right size.
12,
But
13?
11 and a half.
Oh, I'm
11 and a
12.
half, yes. There
We're
you
close.
go. Well, Sam just decides to flex on me. Whatever, man.
Hmm.
No, yeah. Jayson Tatum was awesome. I mean, anyone who listens to the show, and there have been a lot more of you, and I it's 10 minutes in, but I'm going to tell you now to subscribe. We should have said it at the start, but we'll say it here too.
We can head back.
Please subscribe. We'll edit it back there. We'll
Yeah.
put something at the end.
Do
Edit
it
for
at
but
the end. Yeah.
regardless, appreciate you guys for listening.
Mhm.
But those who have been tuning in knows how critical we've been of Jayson Tatum. I know,
Me,
Sam, like you said, you've been...
specifically, I've been trashing him, dude.
Hey, I've been doing it. I'm a long time Tatum criticizer. I criticize the Jays a decent amount, but there is nothing to say negatively towards Jayson Tatum after a performance like this. And he even came out after the game with a really cool quote about playing in Boston. I don't know if you saw this. He was hyped up. He was asked about the crowd, gave a ton of credit to TD Garden because they were amazing in this one after Jaylen Brown called him out. But after the game, Jayson Tatum said, "I love being here. I love getting to put on this uniform. I love getting to play in big games and put on big performances in front of the crowd. They feed off the emotion and energy and reciprocate it. And I can't express enough that I love being here and I love playing in front of this crowd." And if that's not enough to put a giant grin on the faces of Celtics fans everywhere, I don't know what is.
Dude, he's going to go play for the Lakers.
Exactly, right? Just
Yeah.
because he wore a Kobe jersey? No, but to see him go out there, have a performance like this, and then say that about the team, like I wrote about Tatum for Celtics blog. The article's, excuse me, sorry, not out yet. It might be out later tonight as we're recording this. By the time you listen to this, I think it should be out. But a line I used towards the end of the article was something along the lines of, let me pull it up right here. It's loading now. I might as well wait a sec. In a city with a history as rich as Boston's and on a team as storied as the Celtics, it's nearly impossible to stand out. And that's exactly what Tatum did in Game 7. I said it's all-time showing from a blossoming Boston legend. Like, that's what he's doing. And I remember us talking to Bobby Manning on this show. I forget when, but I remember
He
Bobby
was
saying
right
something
before the
along...
Hawks series, unless it was a while ago.
No, this was like last year. Like this was
Okay.
last season when we had him on the show or something. And he said something along the lines of like Tatum might really have a chance to be one of the greatest Celtics of all time. And these are the performances that make you think, damn, Tatum really might be one of the best Celtics of all time. And that's not an easy thing to do, right? That's not an easy thing to even like get in the conversation of maybe doing.
Right.
Right. We're talking about one in every 20 years. We're talking about Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Paul Pierce, right? Like Havlicek. We're thinking of like, you think one maybe every decade you'll get somebody who maybe has that chance, and then you see a million others who fall short. This guy at the age of 25 is fighting, clawing his way to get back to his second finals, attempting to at least, in 2 years in a row. He's been to the Eastern Conference Finals now. Is this his fifth trip to the Eastern Conference Finals?
This will be 18, 20, 22, 23.
This will be his fourth trip. Jaylen's fifth.
Yes.
And I know Boston's a city of champions, and it's fine. That's just how it is. And you only get measured by your titles. But like, he's 25 and he's done this already. Like, he really genuinely has a chance to be one of the greatest Celtics players in the history of ever. Like, that's
To put it in
crazy.
perspective, I saw a tweet today about Horford specifically in his, however, I think it's 6 seasons now in Boston. No, this is number 5. He was here for 3, left, and then came back. This is number 2 in that second stint. So 5. This will be his 4th conference finals. Only missed the conference finals with the Celtics in 2019, thanks to Kyrie saying he won't shoot 6 of 22 again, or whatever he said.
Shout out Al.
Yeah, but really think about this, right? I tweeted it. I don't know if you saw. That is the same amount as Paul Pierce, and that is one more than both Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen conference finals appearances with the Celtics.
Puts things into perspective, huh?
It's kind of crazy. You don't really think about it because they haven't won anything yet. And, they still have work to do, still have to play Miami. We'll get you that too. But, I mean, that is impressive. We're kind of spoiled right now as fans. People are kind of trashing us after game 5.
And, well,
specifically.
You know what's even crazier? Yeah. You know what's even crazier? This is going to be Tatum's 4th conference finals berth. And Brown's 5th, correct? Larry Bird entered the league, and they're 25 and 26. Yeah. Larry Bird entered the league at how old? I'm trying to look here, but I want to double check.
I want to say 22.
23. He was 23 his rookie season. He's went to 8 conference finals. So Tatum at 25 is already at half that, and Brown is more than half that at 26.
And Brown, by the way, who is about to get paid.
Yeah, like,
have we done a show since? Yeah, we did. Since the
we did, but
All-NBA.
Yes, I think so. Maybe I think so. But
yeah,
regardless, regardless, that deserves the context of wow. Like this is like one of the best. Is this one of the best duos in Celtics history already? Like, realistically speaking, like, we talk about great players who win championships, but like, what's a better duo? And of course, this is like talking crazy, but like, that's just how incredible Jayson Tatum was. And Jaylen Brown was great too. Like, he didn't put up like 30 or anything. He had like 25, but it was efficient, right? Like Jaylen Brown finished with 9 of 19 shooting, 3 of 6 from 3, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Like, he had a great night. It's just Jayson Tatum was absurd. And I mean, good for him. I like I said,
5 days ago, I had a bag over my head and we were like, are they going to have to blow it up?
Hey, I was going to say, you had a bag over your head, and now I've got a floral print thing on ready for Miami. Right, and we'll talk about this more. We're going to do a series preview show with hopefully somebody cool.
With somebody.
Exactly. We'll figure that out to preview the Miami series. But
maybe you.
How ridiculous is it that Celtics Heat has been the Eastern Conference Finals for 3 of the last 4 seasons?
It's kind of crazy.
That's nuts.
Because last season, I don't know if anybody... Well, they were 1 and 2.
So it made sense.
Last year was probably the one that made the most sense. The bubble didn't make a ton of sense because they beat Milwaukee in that as the 1 seed. And the Celtics got past Toronto, who was the 2 seed. Then this year, Celtics were supposed to get there. Miami was supposed to get killed. And these teams were actually slated to meet in the first round, but Miami punted against Atlanta.
And then they almost lost to the Bulls.
Yeah, and then they almost lost to Chicago, is right. It is crazy that they have taken down Milwaukee, albeit Giannis did get hurt and missed
still though
2.5 games.
That Game 5 win told me all I needed to know about the series, though. Honestly, Giannis was back, and they
melted down.
Took down the Knicks in.
Then they
6.
beat Jalen Brunson and the boys.
Yeah,
easy. And Jalen Brunson doesn't have a lot of help.
And you know what?
About this.
Yeah, but like, respect to Miami, man. That's nuts. Like, good for them. As much as I'm gonna root against them, and everyone listening is gonna root against them, like,
yeah,
they are the team left in the playoffs outside of maybe the Nuggets, because like I'm kind of indifferent. Like, they're fine. Like, I respect the hell out of Miami. Is my point. Like you can be an irritated Philadelphia. You don't have to love the Warriors or the Lakers when they were in. You did not like people don't like the Grizzlies. The Bucks frustrate people because of Giannis' style of play. Like, I struggle to think of anything bad to say about Miami outside of Kyle Lowry because he's on the rat list. We'll leave it straight.
Yeah, I'm kind of heated. I have to root against Jimmy now.
Yeah,
because I think Jimmy's actually kind of funny.
Jimmy's
now
dope.
like we're all gonna be like, screw that guy. He's lighting
If
up
the Celtics lost, I would have been a Jimmy guy. I would have
Yes.
like rooted
I
for
would
them
have
to
rode
win.
with Miami for sure. I'm happy that we don't have to. I'm happy that
Yes.
2 more games at the Garden to start off the series. The fans today were excellent, by the way, after Jaylen Brown called them out.
Yes.
It was juiced up in there before tip, carried it over. Shout out to the team, though. They did get off to a good start and actually gave them something to cheer for today.
Exactly.
They were excellent from the jump. Jaylen Brown himself came out and scored the first 4 points. Then Tatum had a big dunk, and Rob had a lob. They really brought the energy to start the game. Fell behind. I was a little bit worried in this early second quarter when they were screwing around there, and they were down 9. And then James Harden did what James Harden does, and he flailed around, and he actually got beat for it. Got a flagrant 1, hits Jaylen in the face, and the momentum changes all right there. It's just curtains. Like, that was it.
They turned it around. Those refs in the first half were absolutely horrendous. That was ridiculous.
I was amped, dude. We got to see Scott Foster. We got Eric Lewis. And listen, before the game, people were saying they were right. Like, the Celtics only won because Scott Foster and Eric Lewis were pulling for him. It's true. They gave
You're
them
right.
plus 24.
It's a very closely contested game. It's clear
And they guarded Embiid.
And they gave Jayson Tatum the Space Jam Monstars powers. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's just
Scott
not fun to
Foster
be
had
feeling.
50 today. He was nasty.
man.
He's an idiot.
All in all, though, second half, like it was a fine officiating.
Scott
game, I
Foster was
think,
on this game because he's been a ref forever. Eric Lewis is on this game because he's one of the refs that's been around a while too. Like, that's why they do this.
Agree. We don't have to spend long on this. but
Also,
I-
Woj is a mess.
yeah,
Screw
that was
him.
ridiculous.
That was the lamest thing. And I should have saved this because we'll do rat list later. But Woj is my first rat list.
Yeah, agree.
He's so lame. You know, somebody from Philly handed him that stat and said, "Tweet this, please." And he was like, "Okay, I'll tweet this." And he was like, Philly had 13 calls against them missed, and Boston only had 4. And then everyone was like, "Oh, NBA rigged."
Yeah, it's so dumb. So unbelievably dumb. Like I said, we don't have to spend a ton of time on this. I did tweet out the Woj, though. I said after the first half, I said, Woj, what's the foul disparity in the first half of this game? Would you like to let us know? Because it was bad. The over and back on Tobias Harris, terrible.
Oh, that was
terrible. Derek White did not foul James Harden. Not a foul, not even close to a foul.
Mark Jackson was like, he had what did he say?
He made contact with his arm. Yeah, with his arm. Shut up.
It's either
Wrong.
you touched him or
the
you
ball. The ball clearly went off George Niang's feet.
Semi-contact doesn't exist.
George Niang dove after the ball, desperate because he knew it went off his foot, and they still called it Sixers ball.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Jaylen Brown got called for a tech because someone grabbed his knee off the bench, and he stared at them.
And also, PJ Tucker got an offensive rebound. He killed Derek White.
Yeah,
over
he
the back.
just jumped right over his back. Joel Embiid went up for a dunk, and it was a foul on Robert Williams, but he also just punched Rob in the face. He just brought his hands down and smacked him. And somebody tweeted, he goes, "You mean after he fouled him?" I said, "Oh, my bad. I forgot you can punch people in the face after they foul you. More people should try that." Like,
well, that's what Harden did. He probably thought he
What are
got
you
fouled
doing?
on that fast break and then just punched Jaylen. Even though he was
exactly.
just flailing.
Exactly. But
I love watching Harden play when they don't call fouls for him because he's
very
so
funny.
useless.
I
9
tweeted it out.
points. What was he? What did he shoot? Do you have it in front of you? I have it. Let me look.
Yeah, James Harden.
Harden 3 of
shot-
11, 1 of 5 from 3. Only got 2 free throws today. He's useless. Turned the ball over 5 times. Embiid, they killed Embiid in the post, by the way.
Yeah.
They were excellent doubling Embiid. Didn't let him get off easy. He was uncomfortable. 5 of 18 for him.
Ooh,
Harden's gone, right?
Jaylen Brown. See if we can see this. The energy is shifting.
Oh no.
They're ready. They seem locked in this game.
I will say this, and I
but-
texted you about it. Jaylen Brown getting the crowd to get ready to go today rules. And it rules
Fire.
because Jaylen Brown has been really kind of iffy on Boston. Over the last couple months, there's been like he's going to leave, he's not going to leave. He hates it here. He hates the fans. He thinks the fans are annoying, thinks they're this, that, whatever. And he definitely is somebody that it's felt like he's had a lesser connection with the Garden or the fan base as a whole, right?
Yeah.
Him being the guy that comes out after game 6 and challenges the fans and they bring it for him, and early on he brings it for them in the game to get them going and keep them in it, that rules. It's almost like a breakthrough where both sides kind of like respect, nod, like we're in it together. We get it. Tatum, like he said, loves the fans. Of course, Smart is usually the guy that's getting behind the fans and getting them love and trust, all of that. But it was really cool to see Jaylen have that moment with the fans and connect with them.
Agree. It was good. And you know what? You know why it was especially great? Because it worked. Because it worked, and they were able to feed off each other, which was very nice to see. Like you said, the Celtics gave them something to cheer for, and the Garden responded in a great way. So shout out to Jaylen, shout out to the fans. Like I said, we don't have to spend too long on this, but I do want to mention Al Horford just killing Embiid just for the whole series too. For like the majority of the series, Al Horford has absolutely owned Joel Embiid, and heading in, like we said, that like the Celtics probably have one of the best players in the league to guard Embiid, and I mean, he showed it. He showed you exactly why that's the case. It's just an incredible performance from Al Horford, and like I said, he's been doing it for the past few games. He finished Game 7 with 6 points, 10 rebounds, which is huge. They've really turned things around in the glass. Credit to them throughout the series. 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. I think at least 2 of them were on Embiid. I would assume all 3 of them were on Embiid. The stats aren't out yet, so I don't know. But
block to fall away.
Yeah, Horford. Let me look. I can pull it up right here. We don't have to do screen sharing. I'm just gonna look to make sure they're all on Embiid.
He just continues to be a monster.
All of them were on Embiid, and they were all on mid-range jumpers.
Anna Horford was just running the table on Twitter today, killing the Sixers fans that are mean and mean to her and her brother.
Shout out the Horford family, man.
Yeah,
absolute
rule.
legends.
Al's dad rules. He's always at the games. He was rocking the no sleeves. Not today. I think it was Game 6. He just had his guns out.
You know he's 7-1.
It is crazy.
Tito Horford.
Shout out to Tito Horford, not only for like being Horford's dad, but being 7-1 and just sitting in the normal garden seats.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm 6'3" and I have like a bad time in the garden seat.
Yeah, I don't love it either. It's not great. No, yeah. Shout out Tito. But shout out Al, man. Oh my God. He owns Embiid. Like I don't think it gets talked about enough that the Sixers traded for Horford so Horford couldn't guard Embiid anymore. Yeah, that's what I mean. They signed Al Horford just so he couldn't guard Joel Embiid anymore. It blew up in their face. They dumped him for Danny Green and had to give up a first in that trade. And then he went back to Boston just to beat Joel Embiid in another playoff series. You know, Joel Embiid's won 5 playoff series in his career.
Yeah, he beat. Let's see. They first got in 2018. They beat Miami. Then next year they beat up on. Oh boy, who'd they beat up on in that 2019 year?
Hold up. I said this because I have stats for you.
Oh, they beat up on Brooklyn.
Yep. Listen to this. Joel Embiid, this is from Connor Rice on Twitter. Shout out Connor Rice, the real C. Rice man. Joel Embiid has won 5 playoff series in his career. These are the top 4 players in terms of minutes on each of the teams he's beats. Yeah, so 18 Heat. Who are the top 4 players in terms of minutes on that 18 Heat team?
Whiteside?
Nope.
No.
No.
Oh, man. Who was on that team? Deion Waiters was on that team?
Nope, not top 4 in minutes.
Was Wade on this team?
Was Waiters on the team? I'd have to.
No, Wade.
Oh, Wade? I don't think so. No, he's not top 4 in minutes.
Back yet?
He's not top 4 in minutes.
This is a tough. Who was on that team? Don't tell me yet. I want to guess. Josh Richardson
player.
Was on this team.
He's 4th. He was 4th in minutes.
Okay.
Annoying. Really annoying. You don't like this person because they irritate you and they play well against the Celtics.
Are they still on Miami?
No. They were on Miami last 2 years ago. Last year, point guard.
Oh, it was Dragic.
Dragic was second in minutes. Now
who's on this Heat team, man?
One former Celtic.
Jay Crowder.
No.
One former Celtic. Kelly Olynyk.
Yep. And then the guy nobody wants to fight is number 1 in minutes.
Oh, James Johnson.
James Johnson, Goran Dragic, Kelly Olynyk, Josh Richardson was the top 4 in minutes in Embiid's playoff win. The 19 Nets.
Yep. D'Angelo Russell.
Yep, he was second in minutes played that
He was
series.
second in minutes. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh man, who was on Dinwiddie?
Yep, he was fourth in minutes.
Okay. Who was their big guy?
Not a big guy.
It wasn't
in
a
the
big
top four.
guy.
Nope.
Oh man, who was on this? Joe Harris.
Number 1 in minutes that series for the Nets.
Okay. And who else was on this team?
Killed the Celtics one game.
Killed them? Oh, Karis LeVert.
Yep, third in minutes.
Okay.
21 Wizards. Some better names on this one,
Beal.
but still. Beal's number 1.
John Wall was no more.
Nope, and it was
Dinwiddie.
no.
Ish Smith.
No.
Beal.
This was his 1 year in town, and he
Westbrook.
willed
Yeah,
them to
the
playoffs.
Celtics
Yes,
beat
Westbrook
them.
was second, and then the last two are both power forwards.
I have
third
nothing.
and fourth.
Rui
Hachimura was third, and Davis Bertans was fourth in minutes that
Bertans,
series.
who everybody wanted the Celtics to get.
The Raptors. This is probably the best team Embiid has ever
season.
beaten in the playoffs. Last season's Raptors,
Van
top 4
Vliet,
minutes. He was third.
Siakam, OG.
First. Second, Gary Trent. Fourth.
Gary
Gary
Trent.
Trent was fourth. And then this Nets, Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Royce O'Neal. Those are the only 5 teams Embiid has ever beaten in the playoffs. How crazy is that?
Mother's Day, very tough day for the 76ers, by the way.
Very tough.
Because
day.
that was the Kawhi shot was Mother's
Yes,
Day
it was
as well.
5 years ago.
Tough.
There you go.
Game 7, not very friendly to them.
No, I don't want to say I feel bad for Embiid, but like I don't dislike Embiid.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Embiid. I thought his post game stuff was a little weird today. The full quote got buried. It wasn't as bad as it seems. Let me see. I know Big Cat put it out. He's a man of good journalism. He wanted the
Integrity.
whole. Yeah. Let me see what it says. I'll read it.
Did he type it out or was it?
I got
I
it.
have it here if you want. Okay, you got it. Go ahead.
We got an unfinished job. We haven't won anything. This is on James Harden. And I think we got the chance to win. Obviously, going 7 games and having a chance to close out at home, which we didn't do, I still believe we got the chance to win. We got what it takes to win. So obviously, I don't know what's going on. And I know he has a player option or they can extend him, but that's on the front office to figure it out. I'm going to stay out of it. But I still believe that me and him, we got a chance to win. But it's going to take more than us. We all got to look at ourselves. I got to be better, and I will be better. That's what I'm focused on. All of us. We got to come back and find ways to just keep improving and help the team. We can't win alone. I can't win alone. Me and James, we just can't win alone. This is the part everybody has heard. That's why basketball is so 5-on-5. So we just need everybody to just keep trying to keep finding ways to get better, and we'll be fine. Embiid, who shot 5 of 18.
Yeah, you can't pick out that one section and just roll with it like that's all he said, but it's definitely like regardless.
Embiid and Harden combined to score 26 points. You can combine any of the other 3 Sixers starters totals, and they will be more than those 2 guys combined.
Really?
You combine PJ Tucker and Harris, that's 30.
Oh my gosh.
PJ Tucker and Tyrese Maxey, 28. Harris and Maxey, 36 points.
Wow, you're right. That's crazy. Oh man, PJ Tucker, by the way, all 11 points in the first quarter.
I was ready. I tweeted it before the game. I was like, I'm ready for this guy to hit 5 threes on the Celtics.
Yeah.
And then he made 3 right away. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to get beat by PJ Tucker.
You know what's also crazy? By the time the playoffs start next season, Embiid will be 30 years old.
He's been next year will be year 10.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Marcus too. Same draft.
That's crazy. Yeah, it just feels like he's so much younger than Marcus. And that's like just, I don't know why.
I think Marcus is younger than him. No?
When's
age?
Marcus's birthday?
March 6th.
Very close then. Wait, Marcus Smart age. He's turning 30 March 6th of next year. Joel Embiid is turning 30 on March 16th. So Marcus is older by 10 days. I knew it was March because I just looked up how old Embiid was. But yeah, part of me feels bad for Embiid. Part of me doesn't know. Like, I'll ask you this. Do you think Embiid could potentially be the next superstar to say, get me out of here?
I wouldn't be shocked if he does it this summer. I don't know what his
Really?
contract is. I don't know what his leverage is. I don't think Harden's coming back.
I don't think so either. I think he's
I don't
on
think you're
Houston.
getting those reports about Houston if there's nothing there. Like, nobody's just making up that he's going to go join Houston with like a bunch of young guys playing there. That's just not something. Nobody's making that up.
Embiid's contract, by the way, next season at 46.9 mil. Season after that, 50.6. Season after that, 54.4. Season after that, a player option for 58.1.
So he must have an extension just kicking in this year.
Yeah, because he makes 33.6 this year. So his 4-year extension kicks in next year.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do with Embiid. I think Harden walks. Is Maxey enough to pair with him? Maybe. Maxey was pretty good in this series.
I think you could potentially flip. Like, you could sign and trade Harden to Houston, and at least, like, you're not going to get much, but you can get back, like, scraps of, like, decent role players, and then you could combine.
That could be enough.
You could combine.
I'm not being facetious. Like, this Sixers team wasn't the best. Like, PJ Tucker, he had to score 11 points today. He wasn't even, like, shooting in half the game.
And you know what?
Season.
Realistically speaking, similar iterations of the Sixers teams minus Harden made the playoffs, especially if you just consider, like, it's a Simmons versus Maxey difference. Like, at that point, you know what I'm saying?
Do you believe Jimmy Butler was on this team? They didn't bring him back?
Well, Tobias Harris over me.
Well, also, like, Tobias Harris over him, but also Al Horford over him.
Right. I also think Tobias Harris gets a bad rep. I really don't think he's that bad.
Tobias Harris, leading scorer today, he came to play.
Like, obviously, he gets a bad rep because he makes so much money as the fourth option on the team. But like,
a lot of money.
When he joined the Sixers, he was coming off a season where he averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 49% from the field, 40% from 3. Right. And then since then, I mean, his 3-point percentage has been a bit inconsistent. But the only reason his points per game has dropped is because, like, he's the third option. And for those people, like, the first 2 seasons he was in Philly, he averaged 19.6, 19.5. And then Maxey broke out a little bit last season, so it's dropped to 17.2. And this season, a full year of Harden and Maxey, it dropped to 14.7. But, like, the shooting splits, let's take a look here. 36-7, 39-4, 36-7, 38-9. Those are 3-point splits. Like, those are fine. It's just he's getting paid as a first option to be a fourth option. Like, what do you expect?
That makes it really hard to win, though. You have the new CBA kicking in the fall.
So my point is, like,
if you guys don't know, that essentially the new CBA bullies teams that spend money. So if you're like over 17.5 over the luxury tax, then you cannot sign and trade. You cannot. And by the way, I don't know what their luxury tax is, but that might hurt your Houston sign and trade for Harden. You can't trade first round picks 7 years out. And I think there's another way they just beat up on these high paying teams. But I mean, it's going to be tough. And shifting back to the Celtics with Brown and Tatum now set to make $1 million. Well, not $1 million. That's underselling it. $1 billion.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
you're trying to hyperbolize it, and you're like,
I was underselling. I'm just an idiot. That's going to make things interesting on the Celtics. They do have Derek White tied up forever, and they have Brogdon tied up forever. Smart
and Rob.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of their guys nailed down.
Let me look.
So good on them. Here. No. Smart move by the Celtics, extending Horford this year. They signed. They traded for White and Brogdon, both with a lot of time left, and then Smart.
Jayson Tatum
might be the first one to expire.
No, it's actually White. So Tatum is under contract next year after, then a player option. Jaylen Brown, obviously, just next year, and they need to work on an extension. Horford next year, the year after. Brogdon next year, the year after. Smart next year after, and the year after that.
Wow.
Derek White next year, the year after. Robert Williams next year, the year after, and the year after that, making 13.5 mil in the final year of his contract. That Robert Williams deal is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, the Brad Stevens like quick rebuild or retool has in what Grant
Sam Hauser next year and the year after that
making no money.
2 mil. Yeah. So shout out. And obviously they need to worry about the Grant thing too, but
do they need to worry about it? they just beat up on Philly without Grant.
Well, at the very least, you could use it in a sign.
Grant's just out there to run and get his face stepped on.
Hey, he's doing stuff though. He's bringing the energy. At least give him that credit. But I do think the Sixers thing is weird because like I think Tobias Harris could be a fine third option or even second option on like a good team, especially a good team with the MVP of the league, right? Like I think he could put up 20 points on solid efficiency.
Tobias Harris was good in this series, except for game 6.
He's fine. He's a fine player. He's just not a $40 million player. So Embiid, Maxey, and Harris, that's still absolutely a playoff team. Is it a championship team? probably not unless Maxey takes a huge step. But like at the same time, if you explore, excuse me, I have to cough again. You can explore like PJ Tucker trades or Tobias Harris trades, or like you have pathways forward to keep like competing
Who's trading for
alongside
PJ
Joel Embiid.
Tucker?
The
The
Mavericks.
Celtics,
I
if they
think.
don't bring back Grant.
Maybe I think the Mavericks could use him. You know, a team like that. You get like
Yeah.
I wrote like something along the lines of a 76ers sign and trade for Kyrie. Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker for Kyrie. Something, right? That'd be something. But no, like maybe the Mavericks, and this is just like random off the dome. Like maybe the Mavericks do something like, okay, we'll give you we'll sign and trade you Christian Wood, right? He could be a bench piece or play alongside Embiid, whatever. Not great. They also have like a Tim Hardaway Jr. off the wing. They've got other pieces, but like they would want a defensive anchor in PJ Tucker. Their defense was terrible, the Mavericks. Like they might be willing to bring in Tobias Harris. Like I think there's stuff around the league where you could find ways to offload pieces, but at the same time, like maybe Embiid just like, yeah, see you later, get me out. And like there are teams that would jump at the opportunity to trade for Embiid, obviously, right? First one that comes to mind, dude, imagine Lillard and Embiid on the same team.
I'd prefer not to.
Why?
What do you
No.
mean, why?
I'm talking about Embiid requesting a trade
Oh, okay. All right.
and
Yes,
kicking
I'd
rocks
love
in
to
Portland.
imagine that.
I was gonna say, what are you talking about? No, like you think about that trade package, like Anthony Simons, Shaden Sharp, Nurkic to max salary, like, and then some picks. Like you're talking about like a decent young core in Philadelphia, or like another team like, call me crazy, maybe the Knicks are like, let's get Jalen Brunson an actual center, right? You say, okay, we'll salary dump you Julius Randle. We'll give you Obi Toppin quickly and all the picks that you can imagine because they have tons of picks. You look at the Thunder, dude. The Thunder have all the picks in the world. They want to get Shea Kostar, go get Embiid, right? Like
Yeah.
there are teams that would jump at the chance to trade for Joel Embiid, and right now, Sixers ain't looking too hot. I'll put it that way. The Celtics, last year, the Celtics effectively ended the Nets dynasty. Maybe they did the same to the Sixers.
Dynasty. Not dynasty. Nets
Team.
core.
Dynasty, bad word. Core, yes, thank you.
The dynasties of just losing in the second round.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the future of the 76ers in jeopardy. You think Doc's gone too?
Oh, Doc's gone tomorrow.
Doc said he has 2 years left.
Yeah, but they're gonna fire him.
You think so?
Yeah, Doc wants to go flip houses in Southern California.
Well,
I'm not joking.
Where'd that come from?
Gorman's tight with Doc, and he said on the radio this week.
That's
Doc apparently
fire.
is like laboring out there. Like he's like in a lot of pain.
I mean, did you see the video I tweeted of him?
Yeah. But like, in all seriousness, like I guess it's hard for him to travel. It's hard for him to be like up
getting
and down on
older.
the sidelines. He doesn't want to coach anymore. He's done.
I mean, hey, he does a great job of it when he's complaining about calls. He gets up there. He gets rowdy.
Man, Doc made it hard to like him these last couple games. I'll still
I
always
agree.
have a little bit of love for Doc, but
Yeah. And I mean, we didn't talk about this then. This is like a long time ago. He had some really nice things to say about Heather Walker too before game 1. Like he was in tears in the media room and it was really like a nice moment. But yeah, I don't know. 76ers might be a little bit in shambles, as they say, moving forward.
they're
But
in shambles. I'm not.
yeah, I was gonna say the Celtics though. Celtics are feeling pretty good, heading to Miami. A little bit of momentum behind them.
It's too
Well,
bad,
again-
dude. We don't get to see parades outside Madison Square Garden. Oh,
darn,
no.
man, bing bong.
It would have been kind of cool to see Julius Randle throw up a lot of super cool threes. Like him and Tatum could have a 3-point off.
No, because he'd make them against the Celtics.
Yeah.
That's what happened. But
Did I finish my water?
Nope.
I did. Wow.
the Celtics are going to have to take on the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo has been great on defense this series, up and down on offense. He played pretty well against the Knicks because Mitchell Robinson can't guard a mid-range.
Which is the
Jimmy
best because
Butler-
Mitchell Robinson came out and he was like, yeah, it's kind of hard. Like he can shoot mid range. I kind of don't know what to do.
Exactly. But Josh Hart's been a nuisance on the glass. Isaiah Hartenstein's been awesome for them.
Yeah,
Jalen
Hartenstein's a dog.
Oh, sorry. I'm talking about the fucking Knicks. I was meant to talk about the Heat. Jimmy Butler's been amazing for them. Kyle Lowry's annoying as ever. Obviously, Duncan Robinson remembered how to shoot. Max Strus has been pretty good for them. Obviously, no Tyler Hero, but Bam Adebayo's been great on defense, picked it up on offense in the next series. Gabe Vincent's been super annoying for them. Caleb Martin also playing well. Haywood Highsmith making some hustle plays. Cody Zeller getting minutes. Kevin Love turning back the clock and nailing a million threes. Like, this Heat team is the 8th seed, but they are going to be just as annoying as they were last season. Now, that doesn't mean this Celtics
Well, they don't have
team isn't
PJ
better.
Tucker, and this is
They don't
not
have PJ
facetious.
Tucker.
I'm not being facetious at all.
And no Hero. No Hero is big too.
I have a feeling Hero's going to wiggle his way back into the series.
You think
They said the finals is when he's supposed to be back, and I mean, we're getting close.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Maybe.
be surprised. I don't know, because last year, like, they kind of tried to shoehorn him into Game 7, and he wasn't effective. So we'll see how easy it is for somebody like that to get shoehorned into a playoff series. But he didn't break his hand. Like, it's not like he did something to his knees or anything. Like, Hero could be out there running 9 miles a day to stay in shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, his conditioning shouldn't really be off a cliff. Like, he should be okay to play if he's able to be healthy with his hand. The thing about Miami, they lost PJ Tucker, and we won't, we'll save some of this for pod.
Yeah, we'll go more in
for
depth,
Game 1.
obviously.
But PJ Tucker was really key last year to them with Tatum and slowing Tatum down. And you even saw it in Tatum's numbers up until the last 5 quarters of this series. PJ Tucker was an effective defender, not only through the five games of this series, but in the regular season too. When we had Max on, we were talking about those Tatum splits. He was at like 20 points a game against Philly on terrible
21,
splits.
Yeah.
Tucker has something to do with that. He's a real irritant rat. They don't have many.
Absolutely.
Who's going to have to guard Tatum? Is it going to be Jimmy?
It wouldn't surprise me if they just put Bam on him.
Okay, put Bam on.
But,
And then who's going to guard like Rob? Do you think the Celtics are going to go away from this double big lineup
No,
now?
they probably put Jimmy and or Caleb Martin or Jimmy and Caleb on the Jays. Those are probably who's gonna
Okay.
be guarding
So
the
Jimmy
Jays.
Butler has to defend both these guys, one of them, all game.
Yeah.
You saw it with Horford this series. No, they are not the same. Let me
Yes.
start off by saying Jimmy Butler and Al Horford are not the same player, but Al Horford was an elite player in a category this year, which was shooting. He was not able to shoot at a high clip this series because he was so gassed from having to defend these guys, meaning Embiid, and try and defend the pick and roll. That's going to have some effect on Jimmy Butler, who's been the horse for the Miami Heat. And also, one more thing about Miami. They're the 8th seed, but they had like a million injuries this year. So their season was just up and down, up and down, up and down. But they're probably like closer to 6 or 5.
Yeah, maybe.
It's still impressive that they got themselves here. Like, it still would have been surprising regardless of what their health looked like all year. It is interesting, though. They did elect not to bring any help in at the deadline because Riley and them didn't want to go over the cap or the luxury
I will say, like, heading into the playoffs, like, this offense was terrible. Like, the Heat offense is horrendous. It's just their shooters remembered how to shoot in the playoffs. Right? Really, and Jimmy Butler is playing playoff Jimmy. Those are the two changes that have made the Heat better, realistically speaking. So we'll see how the series plays off. Like we said, we'll do a big preview pod that'll drop at some point
with a friend.
With a friend.
We don't know who our friend's going to be yet, but we have some ideas.
We'll pick it up though. We'll pick it up. Do you want to talk briefly about the Western Conference Finals and then do rat list and then wrap?
Yeah, all right, that's fine.
Okay. So the Lakers are in the Western Conference Finals. The Nuggets are there. I predicted the Nuggets to win the West at the start of the playoffs. I still think the Nuggets beat the Lakers. I think the Nuggets have been the best team in the playoffs so far, over the Celtics, over the Heat, over anybody. I just think the Nuggets have been the best, most consistent team. Obviously, they dropped a game to Minnesota. They dropped 2 games to the Suns. I just think they've been the best. And I think this is a competitive series. If you want my prediction, probably go Nuggets in 6 or maybe 7. But like, I have a feeling Anthony Davis has been probably the best defender in the playoffs so far, right? Jokic is ridiculous, right?
Embiid also was pretty good.
Embiid was good too. But my point is, like, you had some hesitation when it came to the Nuggets, and rightfully so. It is what it is, because Jokic he's just never done it, right? He's never been to the finals. He's been to a conference finals. And I will say, Sam, the last time he went to the conference finals was when he had his teammates fully healthy. And look what happens. He has fully healthy again. But in the playoffs this year, Jokic is averaging 30.7 points, 12.8 rebounds, 9.7 assists, 1.1 steals, 0.7 blocks. He's actually playing good defense, shooting 54.9% from the field and 47.5% from deep. He has been obscene this postseason.
Right.
I think that offense will beat Anthony Davis's defense. I think the Nuggets, who have been playing better defense this postseason as well, will be able to shut down the Lakers a bit more. The only way I think the Lakers could potentially break through and win this series, and this could all blow up my face because I said the Warriors would win too, is if they consistently get Jokic in foul trouble, which is very possible, but I still think the Nuggets win the series in 6.
Yeah, I will say the Lakers are a drive-heavy team. They don't take a ton of threes, and they force the issue inside. So, one, there is more of a chance of that because they do shoot a million free throws, which has been an issue with the opposing teams throughout this playoffs so far. Plus, it's going to make Jokic have to work a little bit more on defense. How effective will he be offensively? Sure, he'll be fine. These guys in Denver probably sneaky in better shape than everybody else because they're at altitude. I don't have a prediction per se. I hope Denver wins. But yeah, I want Denver to win. I don't want to have.
This is just the 2020 bubble conference finals.
Yeah, I hope not.
No, as in this.
I know it's the teams, but I hope it doesn't go.
You hope it's a different result, but for all the people saying oh, the bubble was a fluke, probably not. Probably not a fluke. And as much as we like to shit on the Lakers, it's still LeBron and AD. They just got a good core again instead of Russell Westbrook.
I mean,
well, and I know it was handed to them.
They got a free team handed to them, but 2, the Warriors played like me and the boys. Make no mistake,
they were terrible.
They were embarrassingly bad in this series.
Yeah, they were terrible.
The Lakers. Not only were they bad, they let the officials get in their head like the Celtics do from time to time. So eyeball emoji to that if they end up playing them. But they were bad. Clay was terrible. Poole, terrible. Curry even kind of fell off a cliff. He wasn't really impressive past the first couple games. All those guys gave him nothing. Draymond had a couple good games, actually. But it was a weird situation with Draymond because he's buddy-buddy with LeBron. And he didn't bring the dog. Did we talk about this already?
No.
He didn't bring the dog that makes him a impactful player every game. He brought it a couple games and he was effective in those games. But being buddy-buddy with LeBron is such a weird thing. And especially for Draymond, who's supposed to be your intense motivator and driving force. Enforcer.
Kinda.
Being friends with the other team. And then not only is he friendly with the other team, he goes on his podcast after getting eliminated and picks the Lakers in 6.
Well, I don't think that matters as much. If the Celtics lose to a team, I'd probably pick that team to win because you just saw them and you just understand how good they are a little bit more. But
it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. The relationship's definitely weird. Do you think Draymond's gone?
No. I think he sounded like he wanted to stay. If you guys don't know, he talked post-game and he was like, I want to be a Warrior for life. Yeah, he's got that extension. Nobody's paying him $27.5 million. So, not extension, sorry, player option. Nobody's paying him
He should accept the player
option. He's
in
an opt-in at the very least.
Well, that being said, do you think the Warriors trade him? Do you think the Warriors trade Poole?
I don't know what the Warriors are going to do, man.
It's weird.
The Warriors are at a crossroads. Those guys seem done with...
I think they should trade Kuminga.
They're done with Poole. I don't know if they're going to trade him. I don't know what the front office is going to do. It's going to be kind of hard to trade him because he's going to make $30 million next year.
They should trade Kuminga, Gary Payton, Moses Moody, and a pick for OG Anunoby. And I only say that because I'm writing Kuminga trades right now for an article. And earlier this season, the Raptors set their price as Kuminga and another player and pick or picks. And the Warriors said no, which is stupid in hindsight. What are we doing?
It is weird. They didn't play that dude Kuminga at all.
That's
they
what
were
I'm saying.
Without a lot of
Kuminga or a second version
in Game 6.
Kuminga or a second version of Andrew Wiggins. What are we doing? Come on. I don't know.
You see, if I'm the Warriors at this point, I'm not trading Kuminga.
You stuck to it long enough.
Here's why. I'm not trading him yet. I'm letting
Did you hear what he said?
Back. I'm going to see what he's giving you early in the season.
Did you see what he said though?
He said, "I either want to roll or I want to be traded." Yeah.
Yeah, fair, sure.
And it's true. I think Kuminga has shown solid spurts here and there.
Yeah, he's good on defense. He's a good defender.
which is weird. Like, I don't know why they didn't play him against LA.
I don't know, man.
Especially in game 6, like Draymond's in foul trouble. They're putting Moses Moody on LeBron. Put Kuminga in there.
Who knows, man? I don't know. Just weird. But yeah, I think Nuggets win that series, the Western Conference Finals.
I'd love it.
Gonna be weird. Yep, gonna be fun.
Even though
also,
the finals would be more fun if the Lakers were there for the Celtics, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it would be like a torture chamber. Because
scary.
if the Celtics lost to the Lakers, that would be the worst case scenario for me.
Agree. I'd rather them lose to the Heat than the Lakers.
Yes.
Speaking of the Warriors, we're talking about who the Lakers beat. The Suns just fired Monty Williams. They're just like, yeah, I'll see you later.
That
What?
tells me, and I texted you, I think they want to keep Ayton around. Because
Maybe.
he and Monty Williams are butting heads. He didn't like he wasn't getting playing time.
I think
And there have
CP's
been a ton of rumors about Ayton in, out, where are they going to
I still
trade
think
him?
Ayton's going too.
Dallas,
I think they trade Ayton and CP. Get them both out of here. Reset around the two best players.
maybe.
Just my opinion, but we'll see.
The KD thing's
Really
weird. That trade was such a monster deal at the deadline. Now we're all like, did they win that trade? Like, what are they going to do with it? How much success are they going to have with KD? Should they have given up those guys? This is why I'm
Yeah, I
happy that
know.
the Celtics didn't do it with Jaylen.
Yeah, partially.
In
yeah.
hindsight's always 2020, but I don't think either of us at the time were like, yeah, go ahead and go get KD.
I was of the mindset of if it happens, cool, I'm fine with it. But if it doesn't, like, also cool. Like, this team's good. So it is what it is. Anyways, let's do rat list and we can get on out of here. I know
Okay.
you wanted to start with Woj, so I'll let you do that. But
Yeah, Woj is on the rat list today. If you guys don't know, Woj was click-clacking his fingers all day on Twitter. Might have
I love
deleted it,
that.
actually. I don't see it in my notifications. Hold on.
did Woj delete the tweet?
He
I
might have
retweet-
deleted.
Let me look. Let me see if if my retweet is deleted. Hold up. No,
Hold on,
I
I've
see
got-
it.
You see it? Okay,
got it.
I'll read it.
And interest. You want to read it or you want me?
Yeah,
to
I'll read it.
Okay.
Woj tweets at 1:34 p.m. Tip-off today was at 3:30. An
Mhm.
interesting dynamic approaching Celtics-Sixers Game 7. Per sources, the NBA's officiating game report shared with teams from Game 6 revealed a significant disparity, 13 officiating errors disadvantaging the 76ers to 4 disadvantaging Boston. Those can include calls and non-calls. Now, Jack, I know you had something in response to that you saw, essentially saying, like, in a game, there are, like, over 500.
I have it right here.
550. Go ahead and read it.
Ben Dowsett of ESPN in 538 quote tweeted Woj's tweet. An average game report contains about 500 to 550 graded plays per reporting that I've done. I'll let folks use whichever adjectives they prefer to describe a gap of 9 errors from that sort of sample. Another factor, these grading reports are not limited to only correct and incorrect decisions. For my reporting last year, here are the 4 categories, and they are infraction. An infraction of the NBA rules clearly took place in the play in question. No infraction, an infraction of the NBA rules clearly did not take place. Potential infraction, the call was not clear or conclusive, blah, blah, blah. Conclusive, sorry. An enhanced review, a conclusive decision on the call would have been reached only using an enhanced video review. So there are 4 options. And I did the math. 500 calls, a 9-call disparity. Let's see what that percentage looks like, shall we? 0.018. So what is that? 1.8% disparity. Did I do math correct? What are we doing, Woj? Like, how is that news? I bet over half the games in the league this year had a similar disparity. It was ridiculous, irresponsible, obscene. Like you mentioned earlier, someone from the Sixers probably told him to tweet it. I agree with rat list for Woj.
Yep.
I didn't prepare a rat list today, so I'm kind of
no, Jack.
struggling. What do I got? I would put Knicks fans on the rat list because they tore down Randall's poster, but I think that was kind of funny. Did you see that?
Talk about it, though. I sent it to you.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, I don't know where I get sent stuff.
Did you see that? Yes. Yes, I saw it.
I don't know. Remember you sent me one.
I was amongst them.
Can I put basketball on the rat list because we
Why?
can't play this week?
Oh, yeah, we didn't have basketball this week. Well,
Yeah,
then you have to say why.
rat list basketball. There's a tournament going on there.
No, Mother's Day.
Oh, I didn't know
Tournament
that
is
was
next week.
Okay, then rat list for next week. Mother's Day is a fine excuse, I suppose.
Okay.
But happy Mother's Day, Mom and Mrs. LaFrance. Happy Mother's Day,
right,
everybody.
yes. She
Wish your mom
was
happy
our
Mother's
mom.
Day, even if it's belated.
I did.
No. I'm talking to
Oh.
viewers. I'm talking to the people listening. Come on.
Okay.
No, but basketball rat list for next week because we can't play. We can't play for 2 weeks. Like 2-week gap, really? What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't
That's
like
whack.
that. Not a fan.
But anyways, do you have another rat list or is that all you got?
We already talked about the Embiid quote. I was going to say that might be rat list of him kind of throwing the
Borderline.
team under the bus.
James
Anybody
Harden can
else
go on the
rat
rat
list?
list just because. I'm down to put Harden on the rat list because.
Yeah, Harden's on the rat list because he doesn't play the game right. I actually have something on
list.
this. Hold on.
Oh yeah, hit me.
You may need to edit the gap here because I need to find it.
That's fine. I can talk our way through this actually. I said it during the series.
I gotta find this. I'm so sorry. This is
That's fine.
excellent. What I'm gonna
I can
read.
rant too. I can rant while you do that because I said this during the series, and before the series, I told you like I hate watching the Sixers. They're the most annoying team to watch, and you were kind of like, I don't know, like they're fine. And I know I convinced you halfway through the series. Excuse me, but oh my God, are the Sixers the least pleasing team to watch in the sport of basketball? It is either a drive and kick, normal, or a drive and flail, where James Harden will flail his arms, begging for a call to the point of punching another player in the face, or Embiid will fall to the ground screaming as a result, also punching another player in the face. Like it's the same thing over and over again. There was nothing better than watching the Celtics defend Harden without fouling, him go to the ground, and then the Celtics just pushing the ball in transition and getting an easy bucket because Harden's still on the ground. Not to mention, shout out George Niang, local guy. I appreciate it. Dirty play on the bench. Like, what are you doing? You can't pull his knee as he's running back. Like, that's just dirty. And he apologized to Jaylen after the game. There's a video of it. So it's whatever. But like, that was ridiculous. Doc Rivers is annoying for his complaints. And I tweeted during the game for Doc Rivers to complain and say, oh, Tatum pushed off on this play, when Harden's off arm movement is some of the most egregious shit I've ever seen in my life. It's just completely contradicting itself at every single turn. I am so elated that the Celtics beat the Sixers in this game. I couldn't be happier after this one. But anyways.
Yeah, okay, I found it.
All right.
So what's his name? This is from Philly Voice.
Yes.
By Kyle Newbeck, part of their staff. Wrote about tonight's game and wrote about Harden. Harden was obviously not very good today. He had 9 points on 3 of 11 with 5 turnovers. And
you know what? Go ahead. Sorry, I'm going to do some math
go ahead.
where you read this. Well, I need to do the math first, but did Harden score more points in each of his 40-point games than he did for the rest of the series?
Oh, he might have. Do the math. I'm going to read.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Read.
So he's complaining about Harden and obviously about how he did not play well today or in game 6 or even game 5 in the fourth quarter. That's part of what Harden doesn't get in these moments, why he has so often come up small in these moments. You simply cannot win a title by just exploiting rules and hoping that you get the right whistles for 4 straight rounds. He takes himself out of games out of the playoffs by hoping he can run to an adult every time there's even a marginal rule break. Most of the time, you're going to have to deal with the problem yourself. He has cried wolf so many times that nobody wants to listen, and worse yet, he ruins his own flow and his team's flow on the floor by trying to win the rule understanding competition before anything else. That is the perfect encapsulation of why James Harden is not only bad for basketball, but bad for his team. Yep. Because we saw it multiple times in this series, Jack. When he wasn't scoring 40 points, he was literally flailing around. Look at the end of game 6. Celtics are up, 8 or 10? And he just tries to drive, doesn't get hit at all, throws the ball halfway to the basket and falls down hoping to get a call. He doesn't play the game the right way. You've said it for years. He's exploiting the rules, and that's on them for the rules. But it's not winning basketball. And in the playoffs, when it's a more physical game, they let them play more. In a game where he has 2 free throws, he's not effective.
Mm-hmm. James Harden had 45 in game 1 and 42 in game 4. For the rest of the series combined, he had, I believe, if my math is correct, 67 points.
All right.
4 games.
5 games.
5 games. Yeah, sorry. And in the last 3 games of the series combined, 39.
Nasty.
So like, and let's to your point, Sam, in the 2 wins or the 2 40-point games, 7 of 14 from the line, 6 of 9 from the free throw line. Or excuse me, those are threes. He actually did only take 4 free throws in game 1.
That's
Like,
right. I remember saying
that's
that.
good.
He was just getting anything he wanted.
And he only had 4 in his other 40-point game. So it's almost like when he doesn't try to foul bait, he's a better player.
Yeah.
So James
I was
Harden's
watching him
admitted
today, and
it,
I was
man.
just like, this guy is such a loser, man. Just the way he's like falling down. The stupid call he got on Derek White came minutes after he tried the same shit and didn't get rewarded for it.
Yeah, it's terrible. He was a minus 30 tonight. Second worst in the team.
I can't believe that guy is an MVP.
Horrible. But all right. That concludes the rat list. James Harden was the perfect way to end out the rat list for the end of the Sixers series. I texted Sam this after the game. I'm happy the Celtics won because obviously I cover the team. I like the team. I always like the team. I'm more happy they won because we get to keep doing these podcasts. Because I've genuinely
post-game pods are excellent.
Really, really, really enjoyed it, and I'm glad we get to keep doing them. But thank you guys for tuning in. Check us out on all social medias. Posted another short today. Maybe we'll do them. We'll scatter them. We'll try our best. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at How About Them C's. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics. For post-game pods, we have new pods dropping after every game in the morning at 5 a.m. The morning after every game. Pre-game streams, come tune in 30 minutes before every game. And as it says in our YouTube banner, obviously home of the rat list. So you get that here every time.
Yes.
So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you very much. I'll let Sam wrap us up.
Yes, like Jack said, let's try that again.
Make you, yeah. I'm leaving it in.
No, please don't leave it in.
I'm leaving it in.
I don't want you to leave it in. Don't leave it in.
I have the editor control. I will leave it in. It's staying in. Wrap us up.
Thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, you're on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. A lot of you have been doing so lately. We do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
What are we up to?
Let me look. I'll look right now. We'll get a
We're
live
up to
reaction.
a lot more than we used to have.
We are at 300 and, if it loads, 58.
Okay,
58. Thank you guys very much.
Pretty good. Make sure you make it more than that. And turn on the bell, the notification bell. Make sure you get all of our 5 a.m. uploads. Make sure you get all of our live streams before the Celtics games and tune in. Leave likes, comments. I always appreciate the comments. I know Jack does too. On top of that, you can follow us on the streaming platforms, whether it's Spotify or Apple, and get all of the latest pods right to your inbox. And the socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. You can follow Jack at Jack Simone NBA on Twitter. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA on Twitter. I've been on a heater, kind of like Tatum today. That's it for us. Bye.